and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I usually get that one. This one's leaning forward.
What kind of leader we split today?
Smooth sliding already.
Away from you, I'm afraid it's going to get coffee.
Well, the first order of business is the nomination of approval to elect the president.
I nominate Ray Curry as president.
A second.
How do you vote?
Yes.
Any more nominations? That's okay?
No further nominations on my part.
Either. Yes.
Oh, yes?
All good.
Yes.
Nominate a vice president tonight, or you want to wait? What's the feeling of the board?
Well, I wondered, since it's not on the agenda, if we would have to do it the
I
next
wonder
time.
about that myself. And really, you know, it's not something you have to do, because you can always want to president pro tem if I'm not here.
You'll be here.
Well,
That's great. I'm going to be in Florida every year.
Maybe we go ahead and put it on the agenda for next time. Still think it'd be safer to have.
Bring this to Caddy.
okay, the next order would be to review the policy filling the board vacancy. And as all of you know, we have 45 days to appoint someone. And if we do not do it in that length of time, the state superintendent does it. We need to seek qualified applicants. And the board policy tells us how, you know, what steps we need to take to advertise and to fill that vacancy. Does anyone have any questions or comments they would like to make about filling the vacancy?
Well, a couple of things. I guess we'll have to lay out a time frame, but I would like for us to, I know in other counties, they've made that, I think we should make the applicants, let them know that we're gonna make their names known to the public.
I agree.
You all agree?
I agree.
And we should make that in our, part of our notice that their names will be made public. Some places, they haven't done that, and I just think they're applying, everybody should have it applying.
And I think we all feel like we need to put a time limit on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can come up with any thought.
Oh, yeah. Put your,
I worked all afternoon on these calendars.
That's three we hired.
Do you all have the same calendar he's got?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how they got it right.
Well, I don't have one.
Steve put it in
Saturday.
If Steve got one,
Yes, he's got that.
I have one now.
If anybody can get it, Steve can.
We were just talking about, Thursday we have board training at noon here. And then we have two regular board meetings scheduled, the 7th and the 21st. And then we have a school board's winter conference, the 17th and 18th, which is a Friday and a Saturday. So I guess we need to decide, do we want to try to get this person on board so they can attend that conference? Where there's a lot of information they may be able to glean, so.
Would that be a problem, Brenda? Did you add it to the
No,
conference?
we can, I just put them in the place of Mr. Matthews. I've kept his room just in case we needed it.
That's smart.
And if you have to, Donna and I could share a room. I hate to.
I've got rooms for everyone. I just kept his room.
I'm going tonight, or you have to go too.
As long as you all can share.
Well, maybe.
You're going out early?
Yeah, I have to, because we have an executive session, and I have to be there. Executive committee.
and we'll put an ad in the local paper.
And the local.
Okay.
And
So what are we shooting for as a closing date here? Ms. Donna?
What do you think? You think we could maybe get all this back in and look at the applications and then meet on the 15th and ask those we wish to have an interview with to come on the 15th and weekend with, and then have a session afterward and go ahead and select them. That way they would be in time to go to the conference, unless you all think it's too big.
I don't think it is. I think it's a good idea.
Do it anyway.
We'll just,
Okay, now, if you do it, when do they have to have them in? So, you know,
Okay,
I'd like to
if
see
paper
them.
goes out to 8, what if they were in on Monday the
The
13th?
That's what I say, and then I'd have time to give them to you.
Right, right. And they'll be going to you, right, Mr. Pruitt? Okay. So we'd have the applications or whatever we want to call it, letter of interest or whatever.
It's called motor vehicle.
It is.
Notice.
Notice
It
of-
says
notice
notice
of
of their
interest.
interest.
Notice of interest.
Notice of interest or something.
And I think, Mr. Pruitt, you were going to ask other things or that you might suggest we
Letter of
get in there?
interest must contain,
Must contain.
Well, their name, obviously, their address, what magisterial district they live in, and also, I think we had talked earlier, maybe putting in the notice that no one from magisterial district 3 would be eligible. But on this part, just asking what district they live in, just to clarify that.
1, 2, or 3, and I even put that in there because I'm afraid some people still not clear that we have 3 magisterial districts.
And they need to find out because we won't have time.
Well, that's why I
We'll find out,
think
but we don't need
if
it.
we ask for their address, and then also the magisterial district, that if they aren't real sure, think they're in the wrong way, then we might say, hey, maybe you aren't or something, you know, if we see it a day or two ahead, we can clarify. But if we can get their address in the magisterial district, and once again, in our notice state, if you're not eligible if you live in magisterial district 3. And then, told them about that we would advise that it would be, their names would be made public if they apply. Then, other than that, what do you want as far as a resume or?
I'd just like for them to just maybe, why they're interested in serving on the board.
Just some general information, they got,
how long they've been in Lincoln County, their kids in the schools, just, or are they a teacher, just their occupation or something like that, what they do.
So maybe the qualifications and then why they want to be on the board.
I'd like to
A short resume or something like that.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Yeah. We could call, I don't know, we call it a resume, I'm not sure what format.
Well,
Let's just
I didn't
say,
want to-
Yeah.
please provide general background information as well as,
Why you wish to serve?
a statement, well as,
Describing why you wish to serve on the board.
Say they're kind of flowery.
why you wish to serve on the Board of Education.
And the term would end June 30th.
Yeah.
That needs to be in there too.
do what, Tom?
The term would end June 30th.
And that also needs to be in the ad too.
Yes, yes.
I'll put that at the top.
You're right.
It's nice to know how far you're going.
Right.
The, if I might ask, the term ends June 30th, and that seat will be on the ballot when? November? No.
May.
Primary
Okay,
election.
because it's KKC.
But now, let me get this straight, which this had nothing to do with this. The third place vote getter will only serve 2 years, is that right?
That's the way that's
That's
explained.
my understanding.
When I finish out KK's term.
Top two.
So everyone who is selected will go to June the 30th, and everyone who is elected in
Third place will slot
would
into
serve for
KK's.
2 more years.
Yes.
June 30th of
It
2014.
could be Donna Slaughter, Carol Slaughter, KK Slaughter that finished up in third place.
It could be that like Don and I'll both run, and then one of us will end up in the 2-year slot and one in the 4-year slot. I know it's complicated.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
depending
Somebody
on,
else got more votes than one of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Because you're an incumbent doesn't necessarily mean you.
That would be a 4-year
Correct.
term,
It
that's
just
right.
starts all over
Third
again.
place finisher gets a 2-year.
The first 2 finishers will have 4-year terms.
Yeah,
The
third
finisher
finisher will have
a
2-year term.
2-year term.
Yeah, they'll finish taking it. That's how we understand it. Okay, so,
Maybe that's a good question you need to ask.
I think Brenda has. And we
I've
can.
asked.
Well, I've talked to several people, and don't always get the same answer.
Well,
I
I,
know.
I've talked to Howard Super, and I've talked to the Secretary of State's office. And they refer me, of course, to 1852, In our law book, paragraph 2, Lynn County Board of Education shall appoint a member to fill the unexpired term of Mr. Matthews. This person shall serve through June 30th, 2012. The voters will elect 2 members to 4-year terms and 1 member to the 2-year unexpired term at the primary election of May 2012. This language is ambiguous at best, but I've gotten interpretations, but we're to follow this number 2. It says when the vacancy occurs after the 84th day before a general election, which actually refers to the general election of 2010.
Oh,
The
okay.
infamous 2010 general
That's the
election.
confusion.
See it, that, yeah.
I didn't
And
know
I
that
didn't
one the other day.
For me,
And not later than the close of candidate filing for the next succeeding primary election. And I did argue that most of the people in the county did not know that Mr. Matthews had resigned at the last moment, but he said that doesn't matter.
Right. Depends on who you talk
And the effective term of office does not end on the 30th day of June following the next primary election. Election for the expired term shall be held at the next primary election. And the appointment shall continue until the 30th day of June following the primary election, with a duly elected and certified successor taking office on the first day of July following the primary election, and serving until the expiration of the original term of office. That's on page 126 of your law book. If you get
about. It's
home.
in our policy.
Yeah.
It's under B in that, isn't it?
Okay.
Yes, it is B. B
I think that
under-
And I asked the Secretary of State if they would please send that to me in writing as an opinion, and they said, no, ma'am, we will not. And I said, well, why?
They're too
And they
busy.
said, because if you are named in a lawsuit, we will not be named with you. Oh. That's exactly what he told me. Exactly what he told me.
How much?
Well, it's that 2010 that's really.
Yeah.
That's what was
Because otherwise it didn't make a
confusing
bit of
me.
sense.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it didn't make no sense.
Because that was how, when he was elected, that was his term, is that right?
It's because
No.
of the last year election.
Because of the last one.
But we will be able to understand it better when Super, I mean, not better, I'm not saying he's going to explain it better than you, but we can clarify.
Yeah, he told me the same thing on the phone, Mr. Super did, when I called him.
Isn't another county
And he
doing
told
the
me
same
to
thing?
ask our county clerk. I said, Mr. Super, this is why I'm asking you.
Mason and Mingo,
Brenda?
both in the same.
Is that right?
Wayne County.
I said, Mr. Super, this is why I'm asking you. And then I called the Secretary of State just to make sure that our board knew what they needed to do.
But other counties are doing this too, right?
Same.
Oh, I assume.
Well,
I know
Mason-
Mason County.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Mason County is a similar situation to ours.
Yes.
Well, Wayne's is it?
I talked to Randy Heatley at Friday. We were at a conference. He's going through the same thing, and he even said, it's page 126, is it 126? And he said, the language is right there. Howard Silver was there with us, and Howard said Mason, and then we go.
Did they have someone pass away?
No, the lady was ours.
The lady was, who?
It was Wayne.
Fayette.
Oh, Fayette,
Okay,
yeah.
I knew someone
Had a
that
woman
passed away.
pass
A woman passed away.
Well, that's the way it is. I mean, the only thing that, earlier, I got a different opinion, and it was based on the fact that the public didn't know that there might be a vacancy, therefore they couldn't apply for it. So the only people that would be eligible for the, beyond this are people who apply for the Board of Education seat. Because at one time, someone said that you had to let the public know that that vacancy existed to give people the opportunity to apply for it. But it's been superseded with this one. I won't mention where I got that. Say much.
But they were back in a lawsuit.
No.
I'll do a draft of this thing for the paper and get it to you all tomorrow, and then get it out to Sean, put it in the
Okay.
February 8th
Can
newspaper.
we get this on the website too, whenever we
Yeah.
sign?
Danny Daly can do
Nice
that.
That normally the only place you put them.
Well, we can send it out to the schools.
That works.
That's always reaches
Oh,
a
I
lot
think
of
it-
people.
Yeah, everybody.
That reaches a
They
lot
can
of
post
It's
people.
like a job posting.
Yeah.
But when we have the interviews, are we going to look at the applications or just choose, we might be swamping 20 letters of interest?
Well, we
Are
don't
gonna
have-
look
we
at
don't-
them and just decide?
We'll let
talk
the
to
interview
you.
who we want.
You think everybody's gonna stay away?
Well, now there's not very many people file and run for board, so I
If you
can't
get
imagine
them
very
on
many step
Monday.
forward.
We're gonna get them on the 13th Monday,
So
right?
we'll probably get them on the 14th, that means hopefully we'll get them the next day.
Well, I can probably email them to you.
Okay.
Y'all have to call me, email them.
Okay.
He fixed that
If I
calendar
can, I can
today.
bring them out here to print it.
He fixed that calendar today.
Oh, yeah, I fixed this calendar.
Plus, he's got kids, grandkids.
I use my.
Yeah, I've got
phone.
grandkids that know how to operate
I
it.
just use my phone.
Yeah.
So are you all meeting the 15th, special meeting?
Yes.
Here.
What time do you think?
What time can you know, possibly do some-
Carol, when are you really going to miss out?
After, probably after I go to the conference, I'm gonna go to the conference.
Oh, okay.
Your 6, but Sunny's being here. Well, I mean, do the interview before 6, and the board meeting at 6,
Oh,
and do the interviews before.
so you
4
just-
to 4 o'clock?
Well, I don't know.
Is that not part of the meeting?
I don't think it'd be great. I don't think so.
If you want to interview, or you don't. If you want to, then just call and ask somebody to be here
Well, I think we've decided.
5, somebody to be here 5:15, somebody else, whatever you want to do.
The
And
board
then-
meeting would be at 6, right? Regular time for board. And then we'll set up as many as we're interested in, we'll just set that time backwards and give them so
Right.
many minutes. So we know exactly when we start the interviews. We'll have 2 or 10. So
You just call those folks and set that up. You can use this room or any room you want in this building.
Print your calendar, doesn't have Valentine's Day on.
feel free to
Make note of that.
I know.
do that.
So who will, after we get the letters of interest, who will contact the ones that we want to come in? We're not gonna have them all. We will just
Give it to them.
Fred could do it.
talk
Yeah,
to
we'll-
Fred.
Y'all can let me know, if y'all got someone you want to interview, and I'll, Brenda or myself.
Yes, just each
Each
group.
board member.
Yes.
We were a little bit concerned about there of going through and making the decision as to who to interview, but if each board member just advises you of someone.
Right,
they'd like to
exactly
have.
right, yeah.
Okay. Then Brenda, we, or Mr. Curry will tell you, you can. And it'll only last 2 hours.
We're gonna do half an hour per person, 15 minutes per person. Just to give us an idea.
It wouldn't take long.
So, but just so we can tell them who to be.
I don't care to do it individual or just let them all sit here and ask the questions. It doesn't matter to me. Or you can bring them in 15 minutes each.
I think
15 minutes is probably, once we look at what they've written and
Yeah.
everything, then if we have any questions, yeah, 15 minutes should do it.
So we probably won't have over 3, maybe 4.
It'd be interesting to see what they do. It'd be some good ones.
If we only have 3 or 4, on a person, we will interview them all, in my opinion.
still just starting.
Yeah, 5 o'clock, yeah.
4:30 or something.
4:35.
We don't wanna run right after 6 o'clock.
We might start.
Give yourself a break. Yeah, give it a push. It
Breather.
takes longer than you think.
We get 4, we start at 4:30.
Yeah.
Break. The actual meeting, that's 6 o'clock. Is that the only item on the agenda for the meeting, or just the appointment of the person?
Or I'm
So they wanted to add.
Right.
Because we were done, time consuming, maybe the interview's already be over.
Right.
We'll do the oath of office that evening. That'd be
Yes,
what you plan.
yes, let me start.
For that meeting.
They'll be here, we might as well do it.
Yep.
Good thought, Brenda. She comes up on it.
You could come up. Yeah, with me. Have them vote.
Start getting her teeth.
That sounds all
We don't have to list the qualifications for camp, we have. Well, they have to be a citizen and resident in the county. May not be employed by the county board. May not engage in the following political activities.
You need to put as much in the ad as you can. Make the ad nice and big.
He gets raised, the bigger the ad is.
those three ones.
You probably just put on there, applicant must meet the qualifications.
Then they'd be responsible for figuring out what they were. It used to say you had to have a high school diploma, I don't even see that in here anymore.
Yes, it is. G, must possess at least a high school diploma or
One
GED.
time, just
Oh,
take three.
gee,
High school diploma or a GED.
Used to be that.
Doesn't apply to any member of the board who took office prior to
good
1992.
thing, Steve.
Just making. You're making fun. During the, you think, just during the interview process, that we'd have to advise them that, so they'd know that they are required to take 7 hours of training annually and those kind of things that they're, so they wouldn't be, say, well, I wouldn't have done it if I'd have known I had to do that.
I think you have to.
Well, I'm saying that they will eventually, or will they? I don't guess they will.
No, they
No, these
eventually.
one he won't.
No.
Yeah, of course, they'll get theirs if they
Not
go to
with
the
now,
conference
until
anyway.
June, right?
Right, right.
They'd get
I
theirs,
don't pursue
if they went to the
theirs.
conference, they, yeah, they'd
Would
be,
it be so?
they'd get, yeah, okay, that wouldn't matter to them.
I don't think they even need them anyways, but it'd be nice if they got them.
Right, yeah, I keep thinking they're wrong. Based on
What was your first
my first
interpretation?
interpretation.
Well, let me ask you something. Do we need to act on KK's resignation tonight?
Well, I didn't put it on there because, I was advised it was kind of a moot point, because as soon, even if he hadn't given us a letter, as soon as he filed his
Right.
paperwork, he automatically was no longer a member of the board.
Right, okay.
Whether he accepted or not accepted, that makes a difference.
It says that you're ineligible as soon as you file as a candidate.
Yeah.
He heard he did send a letter, Ms. Lucas.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do.
What we will say that.
You got anything else?
We refused to accept it.
I have a question. Now, what will be Fred's term as president?
Till June 30th.
June the 3rd.
We're required by law to do that.
Yes, to meet
Right,
again.
yeah, yeah.
Then we'll do vice president and re-supplement.
Yeah, all of it.
Is the vice president is scheduled June 30th also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we, can I ask a question unrelated to this?
Sure.
On our posting, you know, we're posting all the track positions, and I noticed that all the schools have them posted, so, I mean, all the schools have expressed interest, I mean, because we asked at one meeting whether or not we were gonna have any criteria, or,
Only the one school has expressed an interest, but we went ahead and posted
well, but, so we wanna hire somebody, and then not have a track team?
We set a minimum requirement that we
Of
have to have
10.
at least 10
I
members.
thought I saw someplace a minimum in testing.
Is that somewhere on this posting, or?
I think I sent it to Joanne that way, I figured she picked
I may
that
have
up
overlooked
somewhere.
it.
That was the information I sent to the principals, just to see if there was anyone
I mean,
interested out there in the schools.
Maybe we can put that on the contract.
Yeah, yeah, and we could abolish those and redo it.
Well, I mean,
again.
I might be missing it somewhere,
Yeah,
but
because I knew we talked about a minimum of 10.
Well, I
And
thought
I
I
knew you had
saw-
sent that to Joanne.
I sent it to her that way.
Uh-huh.
Which I haven't looked at.
And I didn't look.
Sometimes you
I-
can look at something, you can't even see.
Yes, and she'll hand it to me to look, and that may have just been in my mind, but I knew it had to be 10 minimum.
But the principals know that, right?
Yes, they
That-
do.
I mean, if somebody's bidding on it, they should.
But that's usually what we stick down at the bottom, you know, must be a minimum of so many students, but that's.
You even say that over on these extracurriculars, it says position may be abolished if student enrollment is on something else.
Yes,
another
we usually
requirement.
do that, but that's just been an oversight.
But they really, they don't really know what the enrollment requirement is, though. Okay.
So what we can do is just abolish and then repose. That's what we do.
I just was curious if all of you were interested in doing it.
I'm glad you're doing all the schools
Uh-huh.
with it.
So I'll put that in to make sure that we abolish on the 7th. And put repose. Yes, we talked about it so much, and I know you, Jesse, to the principals. Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Move we adjourn until February the 7th at 6 o'clock.
Not Saturday.
Oh, yes, folks?
Yes.
Yes. You did pretty good.